It is top 10 video game betrayals. Of course, there will be spoilers. The video has time codes though, so you can skip the section if you want to avoid spoilers for a particular game. Also mind that I didn't play all the games in the existence, so I might miss some betrayals. So feel free to write your betrayals in the comment section. Also it is a top, so we will go from the smaller betrayals to the bigger ones. Let's begin. Number 10. Clair Obscure Expedition 33. It is a big betrayal, but we also will be looking for justifications, and this character has them. I am of course talking about Verso. So what did Verso betray? What did he do? First, gatekeeping information about the true origin of Gomage, who is responsible, who paints life and who paints death. Also he lets Gustav die, one of the main characters. And he kept the stone that lets Aske fly from Aske, just so that the expeditioners won't be able to fly home and abandon the mission because he needed their help. And if that for you wasn't enough, in the end, in one of the endings, he is the reason why the world of Clair Obscure, with almost all the characters that we know and love, gets erased. If you didn't play the game, it is hard to understand how this betrayal can be at the bottom of the list, and what can possibly justify his actions. But it is the beauty of this game. The story of this game is phenomenal. I advise to play it yourself to find out, because it will literally take out a lot of time to explain it in this video. I'm trying to keep it short. Let's move on. Number 9 from the game Cyberpunk 2077. The betrayal, Goro Takemura. He doesn't directly betray us, it is more of an emotional betrayal. During the end credits we get a message from him, where he gets extremely mad and says, "Rot in hell," and calls us an effing bleach. To get this message there are conditions. Condition number 1, you have to save his life. In Cyberpunk, at one point in time, you get an optional objective during a main mission to save his life. Condition number 2, if you don't help his corporate masters, he says those things. Which is sad because I think he's a cool dude, which makes me think of this situation as a betrayal. He just has bad masters. And yes, I'm using that term intentionally. From young age, Takemura lived in poverty in slums, near a lake with toxic water. He was picked by Arasaka Corporation literally from a street, and trained as a soldier. Then he was picked to serve as a bodyguard to Saburo Arasaka, the head of Arasaka family and Arasaka Corporation. So, because he was picked as an impoverished kid at a very young age, it can be classified as grooming. And they did manage to brainwash him really well. He became extremely loyal to Saburo Arasaka. He became so loyal to the point where he couldn't see or refused to see that he was living in slums as an impoverished kid near a toxic lake, probably because of Arasaka. So yes, I think he's a good man working for bad people, because it is the only thing that he knows how to do. So to receive that message from him after you spend some time together and you save his life was really painful. Okay, now back to the real betrayals. Number 8. The game Nier Automata. Again, a betrayal with justification, just like Clair Obscure. And just like in Clair Obscure, it involves gatekeeping information. I'm of course talking about Yorha Commander, also known as Commander White. First of all, the gatekeep of information and lies to androids about the fact that humanity died a long time ago. For those who didn't play the game, let me give you a quick lore context. Aliens attack Earth. Aliens use machines as the military force to conquer Earth. Humans are forced to retreat to the moon, where it is believed that they live to this day. To defend themselves, humans created machines of their own, which are called androids. Androids like 2B, 9S and A2, the main characters of the game. As a group, this military force is called Yorha, and their objective is to defeat aliens and their machines to save the humanity. The slogan of Yorha is
"Glory to mankind! Glory to mankind!"
The only issue is that the mankind is dead. Yes, it is a lie. And Yorha Commander is lying to the other Yorha soldiers to keep their morale up, to keep fighting the machines. At least with the lie, Yorha units have a purpose in life, to defeat the machines. What else can they do when the sole purpose of their existence is gone? And that is the secret that your High Commander is hiding. And she is very protective of that secret, to the point where she is willing to exterminate the units that find out about that secret, A2 and 9S. And 2B's secret mission is to eliminate 9S, when, not if, 9S inevitably finds out about the truth. In the end, again, it is understandable why she's doing what she's doing. I can't blame her. And that's why she is that low in this top. Number 7. And again, we have Cyberpunk with another betrayal. This one is more serious than the last one. The only reason why this one is that low in the top is because this betrayal was basically spoiled in the trailer to the game. And of course, I'm talking about Dexter Deshawn.
Fat-ass black Jesus of the afterlife.
Basically, to be short, he gave us a job to steal something. The job went bad, and not because of us, but because we were in the wrong place and the wrong time. After we go back to him with the thing that he asked us to steal, to cover his ass and his tracks, he kills V, the main character of the game. In general, it was a bad move to even try to do that job. He clearly wasn't prepared for a scenario where things go wrong. And he paid the ultimate price, as well as the main character that survived his death, but is dying anyway. But that's a whole different story. Now, before we move on, if you like this video, leave a like. Help your favorite croissant out. You can also subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. I've got plenty of interesting videos already. Now let's move on. And number 6 on the list from the game Dishonored. Even though this is a big betrayal, we weren't like friends, so emotionally it doesn't feel that bad. I'm of course talking about Admiral Havelock. Long story short, you play as Corvo, the bodyguard of a local empress. She got killed at the beginning of the game, and her daughter, aka Emily, gets abducted. Why did Emily get abducted? So that the bad guys could rule in her name as her regent. You're, by the way, Emily's father. Now, people behind this scheme blame you for the death of the Empress, and you get thrown in prison. That's why the game's title is Dishonored, because you sorta get dishonored. Later, a certain group of people led by Admiral Havelock help you get out of the prison, and they say that they want to save Emily. And thus you help them. You save your daughter, eliminate the bad guys, and it seems to be the end. But no. Right when you throw a celebration party, you get poisoned, and it turns out that the group that helped you save Emily from her abductors didn't want to save Emily. In fact, they wanted to rule through Emily as well. They just wanted to replace the bad guys to become the bad guys themselves. And Admiral Havelock, as their leader, wanted to become the regent. That's why he betrayed us in the game Dishonored. But of course, in the end, we defeat the bad guys again, save Emily and get a happy ending. Or Emily gets killed and everything is bad, depending on her ending. And number 5 on our list is a character from Assassin's Creed Unity. And frankly, I don't know how I'm gonna provide context for this betrayal, because I don't want to drag it out for 20 minutes, but I will do my best. So, our traitor is Pierre Balak. Now, to understand the context, we need to go back a little. Assassin's Creed games, at least initially, were about two factions fighting each other. That is, Assassins versus Templars. Assassins are anarchists for freedom, and Templars are for the control over the normies. Some Templars are straight up evil, like the Borgias from Assassin's Creed 2. Some, like Haytham Kenway, genuinely have good intentions and want to guide people. So even though we usually play as the assassins, not all Templars are bad. Now that you know the premise of the series, we can get back to AC Unity. So, you play as Arno, and you're a son of an assassin, but you don't know that yet. Long story short, your father gets killed, and you are taken in by a family of Templars. Long story short again, you need to know two things. 1. Arno likes his stepsister. Can't blame him though. And 2. Your second dad also gets killed. You get blamed for it, and you are sent to prison where you first meet the traitor himself, Pierre Balak. Long story short, he tells Arno the truth about his father being an assassin, and he becomes like a mentor to Arno. He trains Arno to be an assassin. So, how does he betray us? Well, the whole plot of Unity is about the fact that Templars and Assassins were getting closer and closer, and there is even a possibility for peace between them. But someone just keeps killing people who want the peace to happen, and you and your stepsister girlfriend are trying to unravel the mystery. Again, she's a Templar and you're an assassin, so it kinda could have worked. Long story short, you find out that Pierre Balak, your mentor in A Third Father, is one of the people who are killing people who wanted peace between the assassins and the Templars. In the end, Arno uncovers the truth about Balak's treason, and they have a duel. Number 4 on the list. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, so I think we should talk about Cyberpunk again. Cyberpunk is actually filled with betrayals. I'm only talking about the biggest. And this time I'm talking about the DLC to Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty. And after playing it, yes, I can confirm that the Liberty was indeed Phantom. Now, under number 4 we have our girl Song So Mi, aka Songbird. So, what does our birdie want? The answer is pretty simple. She wants to get out of the cage. What cage? I mean her work for the NUSA. She didn't volunteer for the job, she was being volunteered. She had a bad hit on Militech Corporation, and Solomon Reed knocked on her door with an offer she couldn't refuse, to work as an agent for the NUSA, where she would do illegal things for President Myers, breaching the Black Wall and putting the whole humanity at risk. Not only that, but breaching the Black Wall is extremely dangerous for Songbird herself. She is basically dying doing a job she can't refuse to do. Later, she found out about a tech that could save her life and the life of V, the main character of the game. This tech is in hands of a local warlord of Dogtown. So she came up with a plan. She planned to pretend to sell out the President Myers to the warlord, to earn his trust, steal the tech and run away to the moon with the tech. And she hired us to save the president and promise us the cure in return. So where's the betrayal, you may ask? Well, she lied to us so many times that if she would be Pinocchio, her nose would reach the outer space. Particularly, she was lying about being able to save us from dying. The whole time she knew that the tech that can save her and V can only save one person. And she of course didn't plan to cure us, she wanted the cure for herself. Well, in the end, she tells us the truth, just before V helps her board the spaceship. Well, thanks, better late than never, I guess. And for number 3 we will have Baldur's Gate 3. And the betrayal may happen and may not happen depending on your choice. Most likely it will happen. I'm of course talking about the Emperor. Again, for people who don't know some context. In Baldur's Gate universe there is a race of mind flayers. They look like this. They reproduce parasitically, they infect people with tadpoles, and later they transform them into mind flayers. Mind flayers though are controlled by the Elder Brains. Literally giant brains. They form some sort of a hive mind. Now, our traitor was originally a human, but not just any human, but the legendary Balduran.
Who founded Baldur's Gate?
Yes, he founded the Baldur's Gate city. However, he got captured, infected and then transformed into a mind flayer. Nowadays, he refers to himself as the Emperor. We as the player at the beginning of the game also get infected and are looking for ways how to prevent being transformed into a mind flayer. Long story short, the final boss of the game is an Elder Brain. But not just any Elder Brain, but it is empowered by an ancient and powerful magical artifact. So our brain can be classified as almost a godlike force. Luckily, there is that one person that has the power to break the influence of the Elder's Brain hive mind. And the Emperor has this person imprisoned. The Emperor says that freeing this person is a bad idea because this person would kill us and the Emperor. Well, if you try to free that person later in the game, which is the right thing to do, the Emperor gets extremely mad, betrays us, switches sides and joins the Elder Brain. Later in the game, he will be a boss on our way to fight the Elder Brain. Needless to say, his betrayal is kinda stupid, because by joining the Elder Brain he most definitely will lose his mind and will be controlled by the Elder Brain. Aside from that, the Emperor manipulates us from the very beginning. He was lying and pretending to be someone who he wasn't. For him, we're just a tool to do his bidding. He is a mind flayer. He likes being a mind flayer. He acts and thinks like a mind flayer. I think Balduran is long dead. There is just a mind flare with the memories of Balduran, and all of Emperor's actions prove that. Number 2 is a real bastard from Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. The name is Zbyszek. And you may ask,
Who?
this guy. He doesn't have a lot of screen time in the game, but he managed to do so many bad things in such a short time that this is impressive. But let's start from the beginning. We play Kingdom Come Deliverance as Henry, and Zbyszek is our neighbor. I can't say that Henry and Zbyszek were friends, but Henry definitely didn't deserve that kind of a treatment. So what happened, you may ask? At the beginning of the game we start playing as Henry, doing some activities in our village. Particularly, Henry and his father make a sword for a local lord. Later the same day, our village gets attacked by an army of humans. Well, what is the first thing Zbyszek did when the village got attacked? He pushed a girl Teresa right at a group of humans to cover his ass, and knowing well she I don't want to trigger YouTube, will be forced to deliver pleasure and then will be flatlined. Okay, so he is a bad person, but how did he betray us? Well, later when the raid on the village was over, Henry and Zbyszek meet again. This time Henry caught Zbyszek looting corpses. Well, even though it is a bad thing, this one I'm not gonna blame him for, because probably 100% of gamers did the same thing on their way back to the village. Now, Henry wants to bury his parents, and Zbyszek has the only shovel. Henry wants to borrow the shovel, and during their conversation, Zbyszek is extremely rude. Zbyszek wants to get his hands on the sword that Henry and his father made recently. Later, inevitably, they get into a fist fight. Zbyszek loses and runs away. But not for long. He comes back with a reinforcement from a bunch of thugs. Why? Because they want Henry's sword. It is of a high quality and it is really expensive. Henry gets in a fight with the leader of the thugs, and as an untrained peasant, loses. He is beaten extremely hard and the bad guys are prepared to end his life with his own sword. Luckily he gets saved, but the thugs with Zbyszek got away with his sword. And that's how Zbyszek almost killed Henry. Again, not liking each other is one thing, but getting Henry killed is another thing. And a big betrayal coming from your neighbor, when you both lost so much recently. Basically, Zbyszek and his treachery put in motion the whole plot of KCD1, with Henry losing his sword. Later in the game, Henry gets captured by a group of thugs, and they want ransom for Henry, because it turns out that Henry is a bastard of the local lord that I mentioned earlier. Zbyszek, being the scumbag that he is in that group of thugs. Later in the night, Zbyszek frees Henry, but not because he is sorry or because he is a good person. No, he saw the opportunity to claim the ransom for himself, and he frees Henry. It turns out that the thugs treat him poorly and he is afraid for his life. We separate and agree to meet outside the thugs' camp. After you reunite, you have a choice. Go back to your father and let Zbyszek get the ransom money. Go back to your father and get him imprisoned. Or to end him right then and there. I don't know about you, but Zbyszek betrayed and wronged so many people that I think being in prison is too good of a life for him. Number 1, and again, Cyberpunk 2077. People are gonna hate me for this. But just take a chill pill, okay? It is more of a half joke, half true betrayal. It is not that serious, bro, okay? Again, it is not a physical betrayal but an emotional betrayal. And I'm talking about Judy Alvarez and her relationship with female V, aka Valerie. Depending on your ending, there are several paths where your relationship goes. But let's talk about the ending that you probably will get, and the one where you get to live for at least some time. Use Toma Mikoshi. Alt Cunningham copies V's consciousness and re-uploads V back in V's body. V is still dying, but she gets to live for a couple of months to find another cure. And the cure is in the vicinity. Someone known as Mr. Blue Eyes claims that he can save V if V is gonna do a job for him. This whole time Judy and V live together. V is dying and is going to do the job to save her life. And in this moment Judy decides to break up with V. Judy is basically saying, "Sis, I know that you're basically dying from cyber cancer, but I'm gonna delta the F out of this city. And if you're not gonna do the same thing and basically agree to die in a couple of months, we're gonna break up. Yes, you're the only person in the world at the moment that loves and cares about me. Yes, I know that if you live with me, you're gonna die, lol. Now I feel that a lot of people are mad at me. So let me provide the ultimate proof that Judy is bad. Here's a picture of Judy doing the Elon Musk salute. See, I told you. Okay, I hope that lightened the mood. Now, Judy said that she has to find something better, something more solid. However, I don't think it is a good idea. She willingly abandoned something that she had for basically nothing. Yes, maybe she will find a better place, better people. But is it guaranteed? Is it worth ruining a relationship where you are loved for a possibility to find people that are gonna love you more? In my opinion, no. Now, some may say, but Panam also leaves V in this ending, why are you only bashing Judy? Well, because Panam has a solid reason to leave. She has responsibilities with her family. She can't stay. And that is why it is completely understandable why V's and Panam's paths went in different directions. And I know what you're gonna say, that Judy also had a solid reason to leave the city because the city hurt Judy, and that's why she wants to leave. But if we think about it for more than 2 seconds, we'll realize that it wasn't the city that hurt her. It was people. Some people are good, some are bad. But in the moment, the only person in Judy's life that is good is V. So by abandoning V, Judy abandons the only good thing in her life, and it leaves only bad things in her life. And in the end, the ghosts of the past that haunt Judy are not gonna abandon her just because she moved places. Because the ghosts of the past are not living in the city, they are living in the head. Now that's it for the list. To be honest, I've made like 60 videos already, but making this one I loved the most. I loved thinking about different characters, looking at things from their perspective and evaluating their motivation and excuses. I loved looking for the music for each game. I was looking for music for Clair Obscure, and then I stuck literally for hours listening to Clair Obscure music. Then I was looking for Nier Automata music, and then I stuck for hours listening to Nier Automata music. Then I was looking for Yorha Commander pictures and... never mind. In general, I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I had making it. In that case, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell and check out my other videos. I've got plenty of them. Now thank you for being here and thank you to my regulars. See you later.